humbling of the narcissist. It is, I would say, virtually next to impossible. Now, with God, all things are possible. It's virtually next to impossible to humble a narcissist. As a matter of fact, let's go a step deeper. God does not use the word narcissist in the Bible. He uses two words. He uses proud and he uses wicked. They go hand in hand. For some reason, whether they're born with some kind of a wiring, a potential to be extremely dangerous from the womb, or they just learn it along the way. I mean, the Bible even says from young a child is known. And I've seen a few narcissists in my own life, and one specific. I had a few of them anyway. But family dynamics have a way of repeating themselves with each other, where one sibling will focus in the other, and the other one will focus in the other to carry through a relative familiarity within the structure that keeps things churning. It basically keeps everything all comfortable in the discomfort of the narcissistic going ons within the environment. As you grow and you grow in your life, and as you grow in the Lord, and I trust that you are, you will know how essential it is for God to look upon sincerity and look upon your life and your heart and come in and be invited in to take account of what's going on inside of you, which is the term accountability. All throughout history, and even in your human history, have you been somewhat unfortunate to have these kinds of people in your life? Humility is something that they really don't thrive and they respect. They're very good at twisting the narrative. They're very good at making excuses for what they do. And they are so good in not choosing the humble way in how they're gonna interact with you. Now the thing is about narcissists, what makes them even more weird to notice in the land of when humility is an attribute that makes us trust people more. They have the ability to morph, to change like a chameleon into the humble person for other people. In the process of doing so, they can leave you kind of just shaking your head, going, wait, no, that's not the person who they really are. And it's only a matter of time as people get to know them, the person you know will begin to show to the person they become to know, right? The humility factor, even with breaking them, let's say life comes along and they would be broken. Do you know it's still not enough to break away, to break them down? They may find a certain amount of humility in their humbleness, because everyone has to admit at some point they gotta really, you get broken, you're gonna, hey, God has a way. God has a way of teaching people that if you don't humble yourself, I'm gonna make sure that your pride will be your destruction. That's what the Bible says. Pride comes before a fall, and a haughty spirit before destruction. The thing is about the humbling factor with them is that you could go through your life and you do your thing, you mind your business, you keep your nose clean, you do what you need to. They have a funny way of laying claim to a lot of things that belongs to you, your life, your goings on. They even will take credit, even though they had nothing to do with the work you put in. They will. I have this one, for example, claims that he was responsible for some exams I used to do like way back in the 90s, right? And apparently I used to call him all the time to get inspiration, which of course is a bit of a joke because this guy knew nothing about the exams I was taking. So yet he claims credit for me passing it. And throughout my memory of what was the transaction was, is that I was using the subject of MCSE when we spoke to get him off the topic of himself because he was a consistent chronic complainer and he consistently was just a pain in the royal arse to speak to on the phone. Because of the whole family dynamics and everything else, it's hard to jump into any conversation. Say, look, you're tiring. You're bothering my ability to focus because you're so involved in the poor me attitude. The thing what makes narcissists very sad to see when they don't accept humiliation or humility as a guard. And it's not just even something that comes along to punish them. It is a guard from destruction. They don't see it that way. Humility to them is a setback. Humility to them is that everyone will finally see what I'm going to become, right? They use the humility factor to have a play that though I may be having this going on in my life, there's coming a day that I'm going to rise and I'm going to show everybody. I'm going to show off, right? Well, God doesn't call us in any way, shape, or form to show off. And look, my attitude, don't take yourself seriously. If you're going to do your thing in your life, do it, shut up, just do it, and leave everyone else alone. Nobody, if people, the thing about narcissists, they love the cheering section. They love everyone. They want everyone to stop their life and stop breathing to watch them, right? That you're supposed to observe the narcissist. The fact of the reality, the humblings that will happen, it happens to everyone in life. The humblings teaches us to become very sober because narcissism is a bit of a drunkenness. The intake of the drink of pride makes a narcissist become very foggy, inebriated with narcissism. So I'm just gonna keep this video short and just say that the thing is that the one thing about understanding how humiliation works and humility works for a narcissist is that it is not to their advantage. Whereas normal people who have humility and have gained experience through the low place in life, they get a better perspective on things. Narcissists already have a perspective on things. And as they basically, as it says, the word narcissist, cis means to be in love with one's own image. So I'm just going to say have a good day and do like and subscribe. And for whatever it's worth, be inspired that don't be fooled with when you see somebody who can't embrace humiliation or humility and the setbacks and the things that can cause them to reconsider their decision to be a narcissist. Because when they choose not to be corrected, which is what humility does, they're always going to be a narcissist. And it really, in the end, it really does take the miracles of God to get through to them. And sad to say that it may come to the point that you really can't. You just gotta basically just put the X off the X on that person to say, you know what, I'm just gonna keep on keeping on, and I want to make sure that I don't want to become that, and I want to make sure that I'm gonna pray for that. But I'm not going to engage that, which I'm talking about that as a narcissist, to the point that they disengage me from all that life has to offer. Have a good day and do like and subscribe. Thank you.